National PRO, Public Transportation Owners of Nigeria Association, Valentine Udwebo. It's good to have you join me right now. And PTONA is the umbrella body of inter and intrastate public transportation owners. And certainly it's good to have you join me this morning, Valentine. Now, as we all know, many of the states, and in fact, interstate travel has been banned for now. Make us understand, how is this impacting your business?
Good morning. Good morning. It's a very, very horrible situation. Though we pray very shortly soon that the COVID-19 pandemic will leave the world and will leave Nigeria for good. Public Transport Owners of Nigeria Association, PTONA, were the umbrella body of all interstate transporters in Nigeria. And I will tell you, Mr. President made a pronouncement on a ban, specifically on interstate. We are just wondering how very many of us are going to survive during the post-era of the COVID-19. Very many of us did take loans, 500, 1 billion, they're about to start businesses. So what we are going to appeal to federal government is this: if there could be some sort of palliative or some sort of bailout, as developing nations will do. Yes, we're developing. That would really help us. Public transport owners, we employ well over 10% of Nigerian population. I, for one, I have about 700 staff. Cumulative figures of our member staffs goes about millions. I wonder how we're going to survive. Very many businesses, transporters will fold up. It's going to be a worst-case scenario of recession. Business is going to drop. We contribute largely to the GDP of Nigeria. We are key to federal government. We're going to partner with federal government in all of this, but we want government to put it in consideration that businesses like transport businesses are going to fold up. So we will fold up, except that there are other palliatives or other strategies governments are going to bring in to help aid, either reduce or look at the interest rate on our loans, or look at palliatives for bailout and all of that. That will greatly help us.
All right. Now, but Valentine, the point there is everyone understands how the pressure that this is putting on businesses and even livelihoods right now, from banks to airlines to transport to companies, manufacturing industry and all of that, all of them being impacted one way or the other. But does PTONA understand that this is necessary right now to try to contain the spread of the virus, since people originally moving from place to place spread the disease?
Yes, we, PTONA, were primarily working with government policy to curb the spread of COVID-19. If we can put up 500 million, a billion in loan to banks, why can't we bring test kits on the road? We could equally bring our strategies, modalities that government could use to check the influx of people in and out of states. What we need to do is to collaborate with government. If government and the COVID-19 task force bring us into the system, we understand how these things move. Goods must move, medicals will move, foods will move. It's our asset, it's our vehicle. We are the ones on the road doing all of this. And people will move alongside with this food. But if we set up strategies on the road, on checkpoints, where we could have people tested for COVID-19, we could greatly reduce and curb the spread of it. That is exactly where we're going to. Government can't do it alone. We must be brought into the business. We must be brought into the scene of things so that we can aid government to help stop the spread. A whole lot of people who cut corners to get into different states really are brought into the system on the know-how of how the tax force wants to operate. We will spell out, give the tax force the blueprint on how to do. You see, we're not saying that, yes, it affects everybody cut across the nation. But every developing nation knows that transport is key, transport is hard. If we're going to shut down, a lot of people are going to shut down. What we want to avoid is sending people home. If we send people home, we're sending over 2, 3, 5, 6 million people home. That is going to be a very, very bad thing for Nigeria. We are not going to pray for that. That is why we're saying government should primarily consider us, PTONA. We're the largest body of transporters in Nigeria. We contribute significantly to this revenue. We have had meetings with the vice president, we've had meetings with minister, but while nobody prayed for COVID-19, but in this here, we are willing to contribute to help government policies to stop the spread and curb COVID-19. We can bring up modalities, strategies, ways that we can help curb it. Even if people must move, we can of course contribute to it. That is exactly what we're trying to bring into the system. But right now, if things are not done, the post-COVID era is going to be worse than the COVID era season. People will be at home, hunger. People will be home doing no work to do nothing. It's going to, crime rate will step up. But except government comes into this issue and brings us on board, and maybe there are palliatives. We took so trillions of loans from banks. If there could be palliative from soft loans or palliative from bailout, of course we will guarantee government that well over 10 million people will still have their jobs at post-COVID era.
All right. Now, Valentine, even before the president made the pronouncement on the ban of interstate travel, the governors had already come up with that ahead of the president. Now, a lot of your operations happen within states where you mentioned the issue of generation of employment. Certainly, your organization and members of your industry employ a lot of people within states. Is there any plan to also engage state governors where you reside as a way of state governments also giving you palliatives from that window, considering that it's possible that the federal government, certainly I'm not holding forth for them, but what if the president or the federal government is so overwhelmed with these issues that the states could help?
Yeah, you see, we are interstate transporters. We naturally, primarily, we did not put our hopes, or we did not expect government to. Even before now, we've never had incentives or palliative or encouragement from the federal or state government. We did this solely as individuals, go into the system, get loans and all of that, and get people to work. Now, the state governors, of course, they know us. You know, a whole lot of state governments may not want to parley with us, not that because they don't want to parley with us, but because, of course, they want to check their states and check the influx of people in the state. But we, on this note, we could, of course, contribute. We could help even the governors to ascertain that what they want to achieve, they will achieve it. The governors of a state cannot solely, okay, fine. If you stop people from going here and there, how do you want to step up your economy? How do you want the state to survive? You know, Nigeria is primarily from hand to mouth. If you go out, you eat. If you don't eat. Very many of our staff, we get paid on a daily basis. So primarily, what we are trying to understand that, of course, federal government will be overwhelmed on the processes that we are going to adopt to keep people back at work, to give life back to people. But like I rightly told you, our major concern is several trillions are on the stake. I wonder how the banks are going to come after us after the post-COVID era. A whole lot of us will lose our houses, we'll lose a whole lot of collaterals, leverages that we put on ground. And if case not thinking, it's going to be something that we could not even discuss on TV again.
Well, thank you so much, Valentine Udwebo, for your time on the program.